right. Hi everyone. Hope everyone's doing all right with this pandemic, this craziness, this madness. Hope everyone is, getting through it, and all your families are doing well. And that if you lost your job, hope you got your job back. If you're looking for a job, hopefully you've got some type of leads or you are engaging in some type of interviews to move you forward. But anyway, today we're going to talk about the planet and how it was populated, because we've had so many theories. We've had fake history taught to us by European historians, that have tried to teach us all different types of theories of how humanity started, and it always looks down on Africa. So today we're going to um, put the record straight on exactly how the entire planet was populated, and hopefully uh, teach some of the Europeans from the African perspective, from the true history of this world, from the true historians of the planet, African historians, because they are the ones that have been around for over 200,000 years, so they will be able to tell you the true history of this planet, not someone that's been around for only 7,000 years to come around and try and tell you how you came to be on this planet. Okay, so hopefully we'll get that straightened out today. I know very well that this topic might cause some type of controversy. You might get some trigger happy or keyboard happy saying that people that don't agree with me, that might come on the comment section and blast me on the comment section, just like they did with my last video. But this is how we roll. We don't really care about what people say on the comment section. Everyone has freedom of speech. You can say what you want to say, but just try and respect the comment section. Don't come with aggression, come with intelligence, because we only deal with intelligent people on this platform. Okay, from a perspective, we're just gonna get straight into it. From a perspective of an African historian or someone who really knows about the history of this planet, that this is how the entire planet was populated, okay, by black people. Yes, I said it, black people. and for thousands of years, I'm saying that it was populated by black people for thousands of years. They were only black people in this world. Yes, the entire world had black people only. Okay, and so you might ask the question: how were white people? How were white Europeans, Asians, and Arabs, etc., born? Okay, everything is believed to have started only 7,700 years ago. Into a little bit of science here. Okay, we're going to talk about vitamin D, the key role of vitamin D in this topic. Okay, vitamin D, as you know, is an element which enables the body to absorb calcium and then makes bones. Okay, everyone knows that. If you've done your science, your core science in school, you would know this. Yet, one of the steps in the production of vitamin D requires the action of sun rays. Okay, so as the sun is bright enough, the body synthesizes vitamin D. But since the sun is excessively bright in Africa, it is harmful for the skin, and which may lead to cancer. Okay, we're slowly getting into why we have the skin that we have. Okay, right. So therefore, the body produces a pigment called melanin to protect the skin. All right. Black people are black because their skin is adjusted to the African sun. So melanin allows a significant quantity of sun rays to pass and produce vitamin D. Okay. For bones, at the same time, protects the skin from excess, sunshine, etc. When the Africans, the black people, arrived in Europe, they encountered an icy, very icy climate. All right. So at that time, even Switzerland was covered by ice. Right. So the ice age, which started 130,000 years ago. Yes, that's when it started. When black people arrived in North Europe, they encountered icy climate, very icy climate. At that time, even Switzerland was covered by ice. So the ice age, which started like 130,000 years ago, and ended 10,000 years ago is called warm glaciation. Worm glaciation, which is WURM glaciation. You know how that spelled GLACIATION. Okay, so that's how it's spelled. Because of that, of the cold, which was really excessive at the time, it prevented any sunshine from coming out. There was only like a few sun rays that existed at that time, and so it didn't really, it affected the melanin of the Africans that had arrived at that time there. So the vitamin D was kind of like less and less produced. And when they first arrived there, we assumed that the vitamin D deficiency due to melanin was causing like fractures alongside with disabilities and premature deaths in Europe. And according to our research, I mean, white people, they do produce more vitamin D than black people, and after being exposed to the sun. So as a consequences, in ancient Europe, the body had to get rid of melanin. 8,500 years ago, Spain, Luxembourg, Hungary, they were all populated by black people. 7,800 years ago, Africans from Western Asia, also known as original Eurasians, arrived in Europe and spread two genes there. The genes were SLLC24A5 and SLLC45A2. Genes are responsible for the white skin color. Populations in Scandinavia, a region which is always colder than the rest of Europe, started, the whitening process 7,700 years ago. Those first light-skinned or white populations in Scandinavia were also carrying the HERC2/OCA2 gene, which is related to white skin. Okay, blonde hair and blue eyes as well. They're related to that gene. So white people were better adjusted to that environment, according to what we found earlier. They certainly lived longer and multiplied more. This was what is called natural selection. Okay, it is believed that Europe became predominantly white only 5,800 years ago. What these very valid studies don't clearly state is that these three genes do something else, or rather do the same thing. I mean, here is the core of everything. These three genes are called, albinism genes. You know the albinism gene? Yeah. These three genes in their entirety is, or through their predecessors, are found in Africa. The OCA2 is particularly responsible for the most prevalent type of albinism found in Africa, OCA. So albinism in Europe is associated to hair color. Okay, so it is in Africa, albinos in their great majority are blonde, as you've seen. African albinos, or albinos as they call them in America, they usually come blonde. Okay, so that's the type of hair you get. Besides, there are red-haired people on the black continent without any race mixing. Okay, and some people might not be aware of this. There are also Africans with freckles. Okay, although these hair colors are not spread among black people, they do exist. Okay, Europeans' hair diversity is therefore not originally European. It would be a diversity of African origin which intensified in Europe. That's what it is. I think could be said about blue eyes, green eyes, etc. amongst white people. They are found in Africa and have multiplied in Europe. Okay, probably with the spreading of gene OCA2. Try to hair and eye colors which would be genetic coincidences. Straight hair seems to have played a significant role in ancient cold climate, according to Cameroonian cosmetologist Naituri Ibn. Okay, sunshine in Africa demands protection of the head from excessive heat. That is the reason why hair has spiral shape in Africa, all right, forming a thick crown like around the scalp. So the Afro hairstyle is thus the natural hairstyle of African hair. It consists in wearing kinky hair to protect the head from sun rays. That's why we have this type of hair. Europe, in European cold weather, so the challenges were different. Okay, we can accept that with kinky hair, external respiratory organs were more exposed to the cold and diseases, and so with straight hair going down, actually protected, the Europeans more than it would have Africans. Here again, there are black people sometimes very dark skinned with straight hair. They were described from antiquity in Sudan by the Greeks, in ancient, Iran by Herodotus. We see them again today in India and even in Africa, especially with the Fulanis. Okay, so according to genetic research that was conducted in Africa, the Fulanis are Africans and cannot be considered as mixed race. Fulani people are an example. Okay, so there are black people. How can I say? Rwandans and Somalis also have long faces, and yet they are not mixed race. Okay, so like Europeans, they have long faces and long noses, but you do get those features in Africa. Okay, so the features are even more present among the black people the black people Indians, also known as Dravidians. Europeans' facial features would therefore be of African origin. In brief, no features which characterize the white man originally belongs to him. Since I've touched on the features a little bit, so we can ask people that might ask this question: where are the Europeans' thin and pointed nose and long face come from? Right? Some people want to know that. All right. So today we know that long nose and the narrow nostrils hit the air in a cold climate better than the short and broad African nose. So by analogy with daily life, when the weather is hot, we widely open the windows, and when it is cold, we close the windows and we switch on the heater. So it is reasonable to think that the first broad-nosed Europeans suffered respiratory diseases more than those with a thin nose. So natural selection would make the long face feature appear alongside with a thin nose. Let's speak about Asians. Asians are white, even though the radicalizing ideology of European colonization tried to depict them as imaginarily yellow. So current Eastern Asian also carry the OCA2 gene. They are consequently also albinos in Europe, as we say, but they are they have like the slanting eyes. Where did they get the slanting eyes from? Okay, so this feature is believed to have spread in northern Asia, snowy mountains between Siberia and Mongolia. In high altitude, light is particularly very bright. Therefore, the eyes, they should protect themselves by narrowing their opening, as everyone still does today. When the sun suddenly appears, you kind of like squint your eyes to protect your eyes. That's what you do, right? So besides, eyes with reduced opening are protected from cold winds, right? And we know that, which is where virtually, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is this would have led to this peculiar eye shape that the Asians have. Okay, so here again, the same features are found in Africa among the Khoisan people. Who are the Khoisan people? They the Khoisan people are one of the oldest humans on the planet. Okay, they are descendants of the Great Lakes Bantus and the Pygmies. It is very easy to spot them. They've got flat faces and slanted eyes, just like the Asians have, and they're very light skinned. They look like the African Earth, like reddish skin. That's how they're very beautiful people. So yeah, so that's where the Asians come from, basically. And recently, a Chinese scientist confirmed that after tracing the Asian genes, they led straight to the Khoisan people or the San people. want to talk about the Sphinx of Egypt, right? The pyramids, the Sphinx, the huge, massive statue that you see in Egypt. We've had like lots of Europeans claiming that it wasn't built by Africans. There's even crazy theories that it was built by aliens, that they came here and built the Sphinx. They don't want to acknowledge that such amazing structures were built by Africans. Okay, but they were. Africans started building up the Sphinx before white people came into existence. Okay, the same thing could be said about the what's it called, the Göbekli Tepe site in Turkey. It's a 9,000-year-old sophisticated site, which was built by black people as well. So the Benini civilization in the West Indies, which is 10,000 years old, is obvious to conclude that America's most ancient civilization is the work of black people as well. England's very famous Stonehenge site was built by black people. Historians have confirmed this. The historian's name is Ivan van Sertima. So now let's talk about the Middle East, because people want to know how the Arabs came to be. Okay, so around 5,000 years ago, the white human from northern Eurasia arrived in the Middle East and encountered the black human that were already there, and so they got mixed together. That was the birth of the Semitic white. Okay, yeah, that's how it happened. Iranians in Iraq, they were the first Semitic whites. Okay, all Semitic whites are coming from the encounter between white and black people. Thus, Arabs are a mixture of whites and original black from Arabia, also known as Sabines. Hebrews, Palestinians, Lebanese, Syrians are all mixed race between whites and the Canaanite Phoenician blacks from the Near East. Okay, Amerindians, Native Americans. Okay, they are mixed race between Asians who entered America 5,000 years ago. Latinos are mixed race between Amerindians and European colonizers, so they are barely 500 years old. Same observation could be made about the Benini civilization in West Indies, which would be about 10,000 years old. It is obvious to conclude that America's most ancient civilization is the work of black people. The first inhabitants of Great Britain were the black pygmies, okay, who came from Africa. In addition, the astronomical foundations of the construction of Stonehenge are similar to the ones of Egypt's pyramids and the great enclosure of Zimbabwe's civilization. As a conclusion, all human diversity, or almost, that comes from Africa. All right. Nature burst few features outside the motherland or the mother continent. Actually, it seems that nature knew that human beings would populate the whole planet. Basically, black human beings would do that. So we don't get enough credit as Africans for populating the whole planet. But all we do, all we get seem to be getting is hate. It seems like maybe people know exactly who we are and what we did, and they hate us for it, So I don't understand it. No one understands it. But this is the true history of the planet, contrary to what you were taught in your school. If you don't know it, now you know. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this topic, and I hope you've learned something that you didn't know about. All right. If you got something to say, you can say in the comment section, but please try to be respectful. Everyone has their own opinion, so if you don't agree with this, then it's your own opinion, but it's the true history. But if you are woke and you want to know the true history of the planet, this is the true history of the planet. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for the next content. That will be another interesting topic. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your day, wherever you are, whichever part of the world you are. Take care, guys. Bye.